Then my blissful self. Let us continue the discussion about the difference between the gross body and the self. The gross body of the waking state is present in the waking state only. It is not present in the dream and deep sleep. So in the same way, the dream body is present in the dream only, but it is not present in the waking and deep sleep. Then the causal body, that is ignorance, is present in deep sleep only, but it is not present in the dream and waking state. But the self is present in all the three states. But the self is witness to the waking body. The waking comes and the self is witness to the waking body and the waking world. The waking state passes and the dream state comes. Then the self is witness to the dream body and the dream world. Then the dream passes and the deep sleep comes. So the self is witness to the dream body, that is the causal body, the body of ignorance, and the dream passes, but the self is witness to all the three states. So in this way, the self is witness to all the three bodies, that is the waking body, the dream body, and the causal body, the body of ignorance. So the waking gross body has been made up of 5 elements, that is the earth, the water, the air, the fire, and the sky. Then when we give up the body, so all these 5 elements will be returned to their source. For example, when a person lives, the temperature of the body is 37 degrees centigrade. And when he gives up the body, so the body becomes cold. Because the heat has been taken from the sun. And the sun energy has been received by the plants. And by photosynthesis, they will be in a position to synthesize the glucose. And the leaves, the fruits, the seeds have been eaten by the man. So the sun energy, that is the heat, has been taken from the sun via the plants. Now, when the body is given up, the heat has been returned back. Then the air has been taken from the atmosphere, and at the time of the death, the air has been returned back to the atmosphere. Then what they do, they dig the burrowing pit. And the dead body has been kept in the burrowing pit. And the soil will be covered on it. So what happens therein is the water that has been present in the gross body will become one with the water that has been present in the surrounding soil. So the water has been taken and again it has been returned back. Then what happens? The gross body has been made up of earth, and the earth of the gross body becomes one with the surrounding earth. Then the sky of the gross body becomes one with the external sky. So in this way, the gross body of the waking state has been made up of earth, then water, then fire, then air, and the sky. So all these five elements have been returned back to the source concerned. But the self is present always. The self is witness to all the states. But the self is different from these five elements. So the gross body has been born. The gross body lives. It grows. It diminishes in size. And lastly, it is destroyed. But the so-called self, it is unchangeable. The self is as it is. That means it is even, but it is not uneven, as the gross body is. The gross body is changeable from childhood, it will be changed into youthhood. And from the youthhood again, the old age, again the death, like that. But the so-called self is unchangeable. The gross body is insentient. That means it has not been in a position to know itself. The gross body is unaware about itself and about the objects surrounding it. In this way, the gross body is insentient. But the self is sentient. So it knows all the sensory objects that have been present. But none of these sensory objects have been in a position to know the self concerned. So the gross body suffers from diseases. But the self has not been in a position to suffer by the diseases, as the concerned self is unchangeable. So the gross body always gives the misery. But the self is of the nature of bliss, and it has been in a position to give the bliss alone. So again, there are many differences between the gross body and the self. So before birth, there is no gross body. The gross body has been born and it appears. It lives for few months or years like that, and again it disappears. The so-called gross body appears and it disappears. The gross body appears as real, but immediately it disappears. So the gross body is unreal, but the self is real. The self-realized soul, after self-realization, he lives with the gross body. But at the same time, he is witness to the gross body. He lives with the gross body, and at the same time, he is witness to the gross body. So he is called liberated while alive. So the gross body has been seen by the self. So the gross body is the seen, and the self is the seer. So the concerned gross body doesn't know itself and the objects that have been surrounding it. The gross body has a limit, that it is 3.5 times its cubic. But the so-called self is unlimited. So we are the self. I am the self. I know the gross body. The organs of knowledge. I know the eyes. I know the nose. I know the tongue. I know the skin. And I know the words. Like that. The self is in a position to know the gross body, the organs of knowledge, and the organs of action. That is the hands, the legs, the mouth, the anus, and the genital organs. And I have been in a position to know the Pancha Pranas. Prana, Apana, Udana, Samana, Vyana, like that. Not only that, I have been in a position to know the mind. Sankalpa Vikalpatmaka mind. Then Chitta. Chitta means the knowing entity. Oh, I can remember such an object like that. The knowing entity, Chitta, has been known by me. Then even I know the intellect, buddhi. I say, my intellect is no good today. Means I know the intellect. That means the self is witness to the intellect, witness to the mind, witness to the chitta, the knowing entity. And not only that, I know the egotism. I do this work, I do that work, like that. So in this way, the self is the knower and the gross body is the known. So by this I end my talk.